Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be talking about conures and their reactivity to sounds and vibrations. Now I specifically picked conures because as a parrot species they are very reactive to sounds and vibrations, so I thought that'd be a perfect case study. Plus I have so many of them, so it's great to talk about them. But these factors will apply to many other parrot species. Many parrots are reactive to loud noises and they produce a lot of them themselves as well, and it's quite interesting to find out just how you can avoid negative reactions from it and also use sound to your advantage when you're training with them. Now sound is a major factor that can influence conure and parrot behaviour both in and out of the cage, and I wanted to talk about it in sort of two subsections. The first subsection is environmental factors such as the washing machine, car horns, fireworks, etc. And then the second one is other parrots and us in the flock, in the home, and how we interact and the sounds we make with our parrots, because I felt breaking it up into these two subsections will make it a bit easier to follow and talk about. Now, environmental factors often beyond our control, such as car horns going out off, people yelling outside, fireworks, etc. These all sorts of things can play into how our conures behave, and often I'd like to say they're kind of negative in how they impact our conures. It doesn't really encourage curiosity. It tends to cause fear reactions, erratic behaviour such as not wanting to go back in the cage, not wanting to interact or train, or even sometimes biting. And that's not really what we want to see, but again, it can be difficult to sort of plan for these things. Now a great example of this would be Kipling. Kipling is quite a fearful bird still, although he's getting much better very quickly. However, when the washing machine's going off or the dry cycle, it's vibrating, it's making loud noises, you can just tell how sort of nervous he is about it. You may also notice conures getting excited or scared when you're vacuuming and moving around. That can also have a very similar impact because it's vibrations, it's loud sounds. And these are perfect examples of how these sounds impact our conures and cause the things we talked about a moment ago. Now you may see your conure lash out at you if they're startled, or you try to interact with them immediately after one of these sounds has gone off. I know, for example, if we sort of have the conures out and then the vibration cycle's on, we may be a bit more careful about putting our nose near them. It's something to be mindful of because they will potentially lash out and they may be a little bit more nervous because obviously it's them, they're only a small parrot. When they hear these loud sounds and they're not sure what's going on, then naturally they will be a little bit hesitant and nervous around them. The sounds we make as well, and sort of sounds other pets or other parrots in the house may make, also have a big impact. It's quite important to be aware of the sounds we make and what we do when we're interacting with our conures. If we are loud, over-enthusiastic or excitable when we interact with our conures, that can feed into their behaviour and cause, I don't know, sometimes funny interactions, but most of the time things we don't want to see more of. For example, if a conure bites you and you react dramatically and over-enthusiastically about it, as I've talked about in biting videos, that can feed into their behaviour. Similarly, if you're training with them and then suddenly you're really getting overexcited, yelling and be like, wow, 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 that can lead to overstimulation as well. And you know, sometimes it's okay for a conure to get overstimulated when they're enjoying themselves and playing, but if you're in the middle of training or you want to encourage calm interactions, that's not ideal. So sometimes being a bit more careful with how the volume level we use is important, and that leads on to another point as well. Clickers are something that we often use in animal training. Both me and Sophie have used them and do like to use them when we're doing training. However, with our conures, we don't actually use clickers anymore. That is because we found that the clicker sound is actually overstimulating for our conures, and we found the same with many clients' birds. They're wondering why their training isn't going quite as smoothly, or why their conures getting so excited every time they click rather than taking a treat. It's because the click sound is a loud, quick sound, and that can be very exciting for conures. Yeah, it can be very pickle, it's very exciting. So it's quite important to use a clicker responsibly with a conures. For other parrots it's perfect, for other animals it's perfect, but with a conure it may be better to use just a sort of calm verbal bridge instead of a clicker. We can't often control environmental factors, so most of the time there's fireworks going off like there's going to be in the UK soon, or car horns, people yelling, etc. There's not much we can do about that. However, we can be mindful of it and we can work on descents of our parrots. For example, we use thunderstorm noises to encourage calm here. So when there is a thunderstorm, none of our parrots actually react because they're well used to it. So you can work on descents to help mitigate the effects of these environmental factors that could cause your conure or other parrot to get overexcited or fearful. As I mentioned before, being mindful and aware of the sounds we make during training and how we interact is also really important. If you're training with a conure, it may be best to avoid really loud, exaggerated gestures and sounds, and keep things a bit more neutral and calm, just so they don't get overstimulated and doesn't disrupt your session. That's not to say you can sort of like occasionally get excited with them, but it's just being aware of the, I don't know, the situation you're doing it in. For example, if you want to encourage, say for example you're well bonded with your conure and you sort of know what they're like, you know what overstimulates them, you know how to play with them. Sometimes being a little extra loud and being playful, whistling, etc. during play can be fun for them, and being a little bit overstimulated in that situation can be good. But similarly, if you are doing a dedicated training session or you want your conure to be calm, you can use sound to your advantage there by toning down your interactions, being calmer, being cooler, or maybe even being quiet, and then you can use it to your advantage, you know, because again, getting them excited, playing with them, being a bit louder, and then when you want to encourage calm, being quieter as well. And that works quite well with our conures. Often we'll whisper to them when we want them to calm down a little bit, and it does seem to work quite well. Whispering is very fun. So, you know, it doesn't always have to be a negative. Sound can be a tool in your tool belt, like with any other training techniques, to encourage the results you want to see. So everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. What sort of sounds do your conures react to, or other parrots? Is it loud noises, vibrations? Is it the fireworks? What sort of gets your parrots going? And what quiet sounds also calm them down? I'd be very curious to know down below in the comments. But in the meantime, from me and Pickles, take care and have a really nice day.